everybody, and welcome to Smith Party of Six. I'm Audriana Smith, and this is our family's channel. Welcome if you haven't been here before. If you have, welcome back. It's awesome to have you guys. Today I'm going to share something with you guys that I just recently started and has been a huge benefit to me, so I just want to go ahead and pass it along. I recently shared over on the blog that I am using a magnet method for meal planning. It's something that I actually saw in a Megan Phillips post before, and I thought that it looked really neat. She did hers like in an Excel spreadsheet and then printed them out and all that good stuff. I did mine a little bit differently, and I just want to share with you exactly what this is. Basically, it's super simple. We have these little cards like this that just label the meal that we are planning. And basically I use this for just like staples, the things that I am always making, and I only meal plan for dinner time for us. I don't really need to plan for breakfast or for lunch. For breakfast, we keep our options pretty slim. We used to do like cereal and stuff like that in the morning, but honestly, it's just really sugary. And the fact that I'm about to homeschool them makes me want them to be able to focus. So we have switched to just doing choices of oatmeal, like the homemade oatmeal, not the packaged kind, fruit, different types of eggs, toast, some yogurt. So those are the types of things that they can choose for breakfast. And then lunchtime is just usually something quick that I can just whip up. So it's not really something that I need to plan. We always have breakfast and lunch stuff in the house. That's just something that we know we always need to have. Just some different options for those. But dinner time, I used to stress over like a lot. First of all, I used to not plan at all for dinner. And so when we would go to the grocery store, it was always chaotic. We were just kind of grabbing whatever we felt like, yeah, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. But what we found was that we were buying a lot of produce that we didn't actually need, and then it would spoil, which is wasted money and obviously wasting food, not cool. We'd also waste a lot of time while we were in the grocery store trying to think up things. It would waste time in my day at home because then I would be trying to go through the cabinets and figure out what would be the best thing to make. And it also wasted a lot of money because we ended up buying way too much for what we actually needed. So then I decided to start meal planning. Now, when I did originally, I would just like throw some things in my phone occasionally, which I would then often forget about, or I would write it down on a piece of paper and then forget where I put that piece of paper. Or then I finally switched to like this cute little chalkboard that I had hanging up. There was like one rectangle for each day of the week, and I would write our dinners on that. I would often, I don't know, it wasn't a method that worked well for me. I would end up forgetting to actually look at the chalkboard a lot, and I make crock pot meals like a lot, but then I would forget that I wrote a crock pot meal on there for the day, and then it would be like 3 o'clock and I'd be like, oh, I need to get dinner ready, go and see what's on the list, and it's a crock pot meal. Way too late to throw it in the crock pot now. So I needed something different that worked for my brain, and those other things, they might work perfectly for you, and that's totally fine. But if you're like me and just need something a little bit different, this is something that I've started and is working really well for me. So like I said, we have these little cards that have our meals on them, just our staple dinner meals. And that was the other thing, is that it really helps me now to cut back on the time that it takes to spend planning, because I'm not having to sit there and brainstorm, okay, what are some of the other things that we like to have? Oh, but we just had that last week. Maybe I could switch it up and do something different. Oh, but I can't think of some of the other things that we like to make. So now we always have these cards with our staple meals on them for what we like to have. And I just bought like a little box of magnets from Amazon. They're going kind of crazy right now, but they're just like these little types of magnets. They come in like a few different rolls, and you start to pull them out of the package, and then they all like snap together, of course, because they're magnets, they do that. But they're just like the little round ones. They're pretty small, and you can either glue these to the back of the card, or you can just stick it to the fridge as is. So that's what I do with them. I recently purchased a fridge calendar that is hanging right there in my face on the freezer door. So any other time throughout the day, if I'm making the kids breakfast and in the kitchen and have to get something out of the freezer or out of the fridge, I'm right there and I see it. For snack time, I'm right there and I see it. For lunch, It's in my face, I see it. So I'm getting reminders all day long of what I'm gonna be making later so that I know when I need to start prepping. And that has really, really helped out a lot for me. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So you can see this is the calendar that I ordered off of Amazon. I have our meal cards already on it. For right now, I've just put the magnets on the front, but I will be using my hot glue gun to stick them to the back. Really simple, and it's been working great. So since I was making these cards for myself anyways, I decided to just go ahead and make them as a printable over on the blog that you can download. So the printable actually comes with 2 sheets. One of them is blank, so it'll come with the little outlined cards like this, and one of them is blank. You can write in whatever you want, but then I went ahead and included the one that I use too, just so you guys can kind of get an idea. And the meals that I put on there are pretty ambiguous. So like something like taco night, it can be any type of tacos. We could do fish tacos, we could do regular with ground beef, we could do shredded chicken. There's all sorts of different things that you can do within these recipes. Like this one that I've got in my hand right here, it says pizza. It doesn't have to be just normal pizza. Sometimes the kids and I like to make margarita pizza, sometimes we'll do barbecue chicken pizza, sometimes we like Mediterranean veggie pizza. It's just whatever works for your family. I left them, like I said, ambiguous enough that there's still some flexibility in there and you can choose what to do with it. It's not like a set recipe, but it'll at least give you that little mental cue like, okay, that's what I'm making. And what I also like about the magnet calendar that I have on the fridge is that it came with that little shopping list that you guys saw too, that I just hung up right next to it. So then I can look at whatever I'm making for the week and think, okay, well, I'm gonna need this, 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 and this, knowing what I wanna put into it. And then I have that list right there too, and I can just take a picture on my phone before we go to the store, and then we know exactly what we need while we're there. So we don't end up overspending, we don't spend too much time in there. It's an in and out trip. We know exactly what we're there for. Okay, and then also, if you want your own cards with your own typed staple meals on them, I have a link over on the blog where I can customize it for you. If you also don't like the red and blue or whatever that I use for the Smith Party of 6 stuff, you can also pick your own colors. Maybe you want some that would go with your kitchen or whatever. But I have a link over on the blog where I can customize them for you. So you'll get still the sheet of blank ones if you wanna, write in new recipes as you go along and you find something that your kids like and you're like, hey, I'm gonna add this to the staples. You can, still have the blank ones to write them in. But with the other sheet, instead of having our staple meals on there, I'll put in yours. So there'll be 36 cards of the blank ones and 36 with staple meals on there. And I will link to that blog post down in the description box so you guys can check it out. All right, but that's all I have for you guys today. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification if you like this video and want to see more like it. I hope y'all have a marvelous day, and I will catch y'all next time. Bye.